What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we cover everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, these crazy gas prices, inflation, as Congress is trying to figure out how to send relief to Americans. And states are doing so as well. We got a lot to cover here in this video. There's a lot of states passing checks and stimulus packages. We're going to go over that here. And the federal government also trying to do the same here as well. And gas relief at the pump for on the federal level, the federal gas tax here as well. We're going to be going over that here as well. If you haven't joined our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Let's jump right in. California congressman has proposed a new gas relief bill for the country, not just for California, but for the entire country, to reprieve the federal gas tax for the entire country. As the price of gas in the country continues to go up, it has gone up 30 cents in 1 week. That's right, the price of gas is just insane. Yeah, you can see here in 10 states, a cost of gas, a gallon of gas costs more than $5 a gallon. And well, if you're in California, yikes, the average cost of a gallon of gas is more than $6 a gallon. And in some areas, well, you can see that picture. Not a pretty sight. Yeah, Southern California Congressman Adam Schiff announced a new bill to suspend the federal gas tax, and the money that would usually go to road projects would be paid for by the oil companies, who are just rolling in the dough right now. Rolling in the dough. They're making record profits on the backs of the American people right now. Congressman Schiff says while global events are injecting volatility into this market, one thing has remained the same: big oil's skyrocketing profits. He says the biggest oil companies' profits jumped 300% for the first quarter alone compared to the first quarter of last year. Must be nice. He says, quote, "This is unacceptable. Our workers and our families should not be padding big oil's bottom lines." See, that's the problem with gas and diesel, is that we have to buy it. We have to buy it, and it raises the cost of everything else. That's part of the reason why food prices are also at an all-time high, not only in the US, but globally as well. Food prices and gas prices are at all-time highs pretty much everywhere in the entire world. Yeah, and if you've watched my show, you know that, well, gas prices in the US are actually not nearly as bad as some other countries, believe it or not. I know it's crazy here, but most recent reading here for gas in the UK, $8.32 US dollars a gallon. Yeah, you thought that our average cost, which right now is $4.92, yikes, for the US here. That's not really good either. But 492 is not nearly as bad as 832. My God. Lord help them. That's really bad. 832. Cost of gas in Canada, $6.75 a gallon. So compared to the US at $4.91, this is $6.75. So that is about $1.84 more per gallon. And by the way, that's US dollars. In Canadian dollars, it's $8.50 a gallon. Yeah, so they're paying almost $2 more a gallon in Canada. Yikes. How about Sweden? My wife is Swedish. Well, her family's, she's Swedish. Her family, hails from Sweden, the motherland, right? $9.33 a gallon. You can just pick random countries and Google this stuff, right? That's literally almost twice the cost of gas in the United States. It could be a lot worse. I mean, just look at all these countries. They're paying way more money than us. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And again, this is equated to US dollars. They're paying 91 Swedish krona a gallon. You convert that to US dollars. It's uh insane. Cost of gas in Germany, $7.88 a gallon. Yeah, but nonetheless, we gotta try. Gas is up here 30 cents in a week here in the United States. What do we do? How do we fix this? What do you think here? How do we fix it? How do we fix these gas prices here, Snowy? How do we fix it? Here, look what I got here. A little piece of cereal for you. A little piece of cereal for baby Snowy. How do we fix these gas prices? Huh? I know. Look how big he's getting already. You grow too fast. You're only a couple months old. You're like an abominable snow monster now. Every time we go in the kitchen, he's hitting us up, going, meow. Yeah? What do you have? You want to say anything to anybody today? Thank you. All right, say bye bye. Well, one of the ways to combat this is for the government and the state governments, states, to do something. And well, check this out. Number one, California congressman proposes new gas relief bill to pause the federal gas tax here for the entire country. Number two, we have the White House weighs oil profit tax to fund consumer rebate, aka checks. Um, whether they call this a fourth stimulus check, whether they call this a gas tax profit check, anti-inflationary check, I don't know what they want to call it. Um, there's actually a couple of these floating around here. The Big Oil Windfall Profits Tax Act, to basically give people checks with the profits of the oil companies. Um, that has been proposed here by Congress here recently, which would basically take a portion of the profits, the egregious profits, the extra profits that the oil companies are making right now, and give it back to the people, to you guys, in the form of rebate checks, stimulus checks. I think stimulus checks is just kind of the word that everybody kind of understands. But a rebate check, I think most people kind of understand that. It's basically saying, hey, you've given money to the oil companies, to the gas companies by buying gas. Even if you don't buy gas, I mean, probably almost everybody buys gas, but there probably is a few people that maybe don't buy any gas, or don't have a car, and maybe somebody drives them around, or something, something along those lines. But a rebate check, a stimulus check, something like that. Because the problem is that people are forced to buy gas. There's not really many other solutions. I mean, maybe you could take the bus, but in a way, you're actually buying gas there. You're paying for the bus. You could have an electric car, but then you're paying for electricity. electricity prices are going up as well. Everything is going up right now. So this is the problem, is that the oil companies have a monopoly. And in the past, monopolies get broken up. A lot of other countries around the world actually have broken up the oil companies or have the governments take control of the oil companies because they're monopolies. If you think about a lot of the other utility companies here in the United States, they have monopoly controls on them. If you think about like electric utilities and water, sometimes there's options where they're government regulated in some cases. But if you think about really, gas is not really regulated. They're just allowed to charge us whatever they want, and we're stuck. So, so what are we going to do about it? Even though other countries, oh, by the way, here, the UK, which is a much smaller country than us, just hit oil and gas companies with a $6 billion windfall tax. So, I mean, the UK is one of our closest allies. So, you think about the United Kingdom, Canada. I mean, especially when it comes to like wars, the United Kingdom is literally probably our closest allies. I mean, they're, they're probably the closest ally we have. They just did exactly what the United States is talking about, a windfall tax on oil and gas companies. They just did it. This was here 2 weeks ago. So if you think this can't be done, they just did it. So it would be a lot larger percentage wise here in the US because, well, we're a lot larger country. So $6 billion might be something like, I don't know, $30 billion or $50 billion here in the US just because we're a much larger country. But the question here is that, do we have the balls? There's no other way to say it here on this family friendly show. Do we have the balls to do something about it? I hate to say this, but it's just like, are we going to let them just get away with it? Other countries are not. Other countries are not. Okay. They're seeing their gas prices rise, 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 rise. Okay. And they're going to do something about it. Are we going to do something about it? Because all the money's going to the oil and gas companies. Prices continue to rise. Gas here in the US is up 30 cents in a week. Are we going to do something about it? Or are we just going to let them take the profits and say, well, we're doing record shareholder buybacks. We're gonna, oh, you know, and if you've seen this from the previous video, here's a little more elaboration on this. Here's an article from USA Today, and it was also on Yahoo. Gas prices surge again to record highs, but the driver is refineries, not oil prices. This is what I've been saying. Oil prices have barely budged. They're up a little bit, but nothing really to show the gas prices that we're at here. Gas prices continue to climb to record highs. Uh, so far, most of the blame has been on low oil supply, which is really a blame on oil and gas companies. They don't want to produce more on purpose. They're doing that on purpose, right? But some analysts are saying the real problem is on low refining capacity. And if we look over here on this, there's multiple articles on this. No new refineries will likely ever be built again in the US, the Chevron CEO says. And they also haven't built any refineries since the 1970s. We haven't had a refinery built in the US since the 1970s. And my personal view is that there will never be another one. Well, apparently I lost the article and they want me to sign in, which I'm not doing here at this moment. But they said basically there will not be another one. They just don't want to pay for it. Well, that's what oil and gas companies do. Is you build rigs, you build refineries, and they make you money. They don't want to do it because this is their excuse to charge more. And meanwhile, we have all these states that are pausing gas taxes. The feds, or the Congress is trying to do the same. The problem with Congress is that we have Republicans and Democrats. In all fairness, just telling the truth here, we're having Republicans on Congress just saying no to everything. So I what's going to happen there before the elections here, we'll have to see. Whether or not the Democrats do it through the reconciliation process is a different story, because that will affect the budget. So they could do things through the reconciliation process or through executive order. And then we have other things that are going to happen, like student loan forgiveness for about 40 million people, and then SNAP food assistance, which is another 40 million people. We have that conference coming up there as well. So that's 80 million people if and when those happen. And, you also kind of got to think that hey, maybe there should, there's an election year every 2 years. In the past, they're used to, they didn't do this type of stuff before election year. So at least they're doing things and making moves here before the election, where in the past, they didn't used to do stuff like this. So at least they're helping large groups of people before the election year. So hopefully we'll see those things. And again, that's not going to benefit me, but I like to see either one of those. I like to see as many groups of people help as possible. So let's hope, again, if people need help, I like to see as many people get help as possible. So hopefully we see those get help. That'll be 80 some million people. Hopefully we see a federal stimulus check here, which will blanket the vast majority of people. Hopefully we also continue to see these states pass state stimulus checks and tax relief, lowering taxes, all gas tax savings here. Uh, I'll have to do that here in the next video. We ended up talking about a lot of the federal stuff here, but we got a lot of states here doing state stimulus checks, state gas tax relief, a lot of that. And really, when we think about that, we have probably a dozen or two states here that have already passed things like that, and some states are coming around for another bite at the apple already. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And some states are doing gas tax relief, grocery tax relief, and checks and tax rebates for property owners and stuff like that. New York just announced 3 million people getting checks up to like $1,000 for property tax rebates. And again, if they weren't flush with cash, they didn't have to do that. They didn't do that last year, the year before, the year before. So you kind of think about this, that more and more states are doing this, and the more states to do this, it's basically a stimulus check. You get an extra 500 or $1,000 from a state, awesome, right? And sometimes it's per person. We think about Maine did $850. I think those are going out this month. And that's per person. So in a lot of cases, it's going to be $1,700. That's more than the $1,400 stimulus check. Well, that was per person too, but I mean, you kind of get my drift here. So yeah, really, there's a lot of different help coming out from a lot of different places. It really just kind of, it's it's different spots and different kind of buckets of people here. But really, you kind of think about the stimulus check itself as it was a large bucket of people. Not everybody got that. In fact, the first and second stimulus check left out adult dependents and college students as well. Of course, we know the income limits as well. So, but now that the federal government it's bringing in more money, it's bringing in more money, and it's not running a deficit anymore. In fact, they're going to pay down the deficit, or already did. It's interesting to see that the dynamics of that, but the federal deficit being paid down by $1.5 trillion. They have money to do this. They have money to do this. So Let me know your thoughts here. I will keep you up to date here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. Just click the subscribe button and then click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live so you don't miss out on new videos. That's every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here with everything. You can click here to watch my newest video about Social Security raises. And here is my newest video about stimulus checks as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.